What's up, college football fans and Mean Green fans? Sonoy Valente here once again with the Mean Green Show. And as we're edging closer to football season, we've got another big-time guest on the show today in Dillon Lovelace. And before we get into all that Dillon and his family have done for the university and the athletic department, guys, you already know the drill. If you're a fan of college football, G5 football, the transfer portal, recruiting, any or all of the above, consider hitting that like and subscribe button because that is truly all that we talk about. All right, Dillon. Well, hey, I say this to everybody, and aside from maybe the football coaches, you probably are one of the most busiest guests who has the busiest schedule that I've had on. So really, thank you for carving out some time. And how's the summer been for you? I mean, have you? What does summer look like for you? Do you get to go out and do stuff with your family? What are you guys doing on summers? For summers?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it and appreciate everything you guys are trying to do for the program. It's good stuff. We need a lot more of it. We like that. So thank you. As far as the summer, it's been we had a pretty low key one. We did a little bit of traveling, probably less than usual. Things just aren't as normal as they have been, but we travel the best we can. And now we got the kids back in school and rolling, which is actually nice. Normalcy again, and we're certainly, as the summer went on, we're looking forward to football getting started. I kind of get that itch, once but June 1st or so hits, and it's a little bit ironic. Probably a relative point is Memorial Day weekend every year. I actually go to a tournament with Coach Littrell. That's a really kind of elite group of coaches and donors that get to go play at Pebble Beach and the courses out there. Memorial Day week. It's really neat, and you kind of get to observe. You don't want to win, so you can be invited back. But typically, the team that wins is Rick Neuheisel's team. He brings a bunch of ringers. We're definitely not that, but we're there to have a good time. And it's neat because it has a pretty large constituent of Texas coaches and groups, like all three of the Metroplex schools, U of H, Texas Tech. Texas has been there, A&M's been there, so it's a neat deal. But anyway, just appreciate you having me on, and look forward to talking football and Mean Green football.
Yeah, absolutely. Just real quick, so your kids, how many kids do you have?
We have 4.
4, and what are their ages?
They're 20, 17 twins, and 14 girl.
Okay, so is your 20-year-old, is she in college currently?
She's at Texas.
She's at Texas. That's what I was going to ask her. Did they have a choice? I guess they do have a choice, so that's nice. You gave them the choice to go where they want. I was if their
she's
decision
doing
was
the sorority rush deal right now.
Oh, how fun!
Actually, getting to do it in person for the first time in her college.
So this is her year 2 then for her.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
So.
Yeah, there's so many small things with how COVID affected all of our lives. Like, I mean, small things, whatever. But like, there's so many things you just don't even think about that it affected. I never thought about like Greek life and like the things they do. Like, obviously,
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was always her dream to go down there, and she had to do it. We give her credit. She had to be a little bit patient, resilient, but everything was virtual her first year. So it's like, well, this isn't a true college experience. But the best thing she had going was her dorm. That's a loose term, right? It's nicer than my first 2 houses. But looked right out at the tower and right out at the football stadium. So she at least got a sense for and a feel for it down there. But
well, that's fun.
Yeah.
So, kind of edging before we get into football, just a little bit of your own backstory and your family's backstory. Like, how did you guys end up in Denton? As well as kind of piggybacking off of that, how did your family and the Littrell family, get so close? Can you give us the ins and outs of how all that came to be?
Sure. Well, first, how we got into Denton. I was actually born and raised in Southlake, and my parents sold. We had a big horse ranch, which is for those folks who know Southlake, that's hard to envision nowadays, but they used to be
joke. I used to work for the city of Southlake, so I'm very well aware with that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very hard to imagine.
So we sold our land and then found a beautiful tract east of Denton, about 140 acres that they still live on today out there. And my dad said, we're going to, build a house right in the middle of it and not worry about what happened. Did I lose you?
I think we're back though. I think we lost.
Okay.
Last thing I heard was we're gonna build it and we're not gonna worry about what happened, and it cut off. So if you could just pick up from there.
Sure. Yeah, they built right in the middle of it. It's a beautiful piece of property, and they're still there today. And I actually went to Liberty Christian there when it was in Denton, where the women's athletics complex. My parents both attended North Texas. And then on my mom's side, I should have counted this before I came on here, but there's at least a half a dozen to maybe 8 folks who attended North Texas. So it's certainly near and dear to us. I played football in high school. I played football and baseball, both, and was fortunate enough to be actually offered in both sports. Chose the baseball path. I played it back in the old days, and ended up getting injured and decided to transfer home and finish my school. Did I lose you again?
I caught. So you said New Mexico State?
Yes.
And then
played baseball out there, and then ended up finishing school at North Texas. And so we have a long list of family members who are involved one way or another at the school there. And really, I've stayed in the area since graduating and got involved in the family business, which is headquartered in Denton. And like I said, my parents still live on that land they bought a long time ago. And I don't know if they'll keep it or not, or move closer to us. We'll see. But anyway, it's Denton and North Texas are certainly near and dear to our hearts, and meaningful. It's just been amazing to see the growth of both places over time.
Yeah, no, Denton has blown up even in my yeah, it's crazy, super crazy. Denton used to be the country, I felt like, but definitely not anymore.
Yeah,
yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, so going into so your family and the Littrell family, they got to be friends in Oklahoma or something. I read a little bit of what Brett Vito wrote up about that, but yeah, if you could dive in just a little bit more on that, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've known the Littrells for a long time. Golly, I would say probably my mom and Judy, Seth's mom, competed in roller skating against one another. And that's back when they were in their 20s. I won't tell you how long ago that was, but it was not recent. And just stayed in touch since that time. Obviously, Seth and I both being athletics in high school and college, it was tough to get together, but we tried a lot. And, we stayed in close contact. I followed Seth's national championship season very closely, went up there a few times, got to go in the locker room and all that. And they were, OU won their last national title. And we've been good friends for a long time. The Littrells are great people. Everybody in Muskogee knows them. It's kind of funny if you ask.
Every time I drive through Muskogee, that's all I think about is Coach Littrell. Like,
oh my gosh,
wherever, it's just like, oh, that's where Coach Littrell's from. Like,
it's hilarious. You can meet people from anywhere up in that area. They know who they are. But anyway, we're back. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay. It happens. So the last thing I heard was, everybody knows them in Muskogee. Then you kind of went in, and then we kind of lost touch. So if you could maybe pick up right there.
Oh, sure. So Seth, once he got done playing, he got right into coaching there at Kansas, and he and I stayed in touch through that time. And Judy and my mom and Jimmy, my dad, did. We followed him from Kansas to Tech to Arizona, and he married Becca and had kids. And, we started thinking probably, is they really got things rolling offensively at Tech in Arizona. We were thinking, boy, Seth may be cut out for this deal at some point, and so obviously he went to Indiana and blew the Big Ten up offensively. I mean, it was incredible what they did. And when the timing was right, we'd stayed in touch enough to at least he had interest in the North Texas job. We took a little bit of persuasion,
Yeah,
but he was excited about it to be his first job and had a lot of support, from our standpoint. So, it's been a good fit. It's been a fun ride, and yeah, it's great. We're fortunate to be great friends, and they're just Seth's a tremendous guy,
yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's a great family. So
Yeah. Man, just kind of a little bit off script here a little bit. So when he was the OC at North Carolina, I don't know if you've seen the mug shots and the pictures of him. He didn't look like he looked back in his playing days. Then he gets down here, and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's the Texas sun or whoever is the nutritionist whenever he got here. But man, he looks like he could play again, and like all this wrestling stuff you hear about him, and I mean, do you guys ever tease him about that, or as far as like he did his own transformation?
He did. I think it's the fact that mom was close enough to be on his ear, and say, "Hey, you got to look better on the sidelines."
Yeah, well, he looks like he's ready to go nowadays.
There's no doubt he could probably still suit up except for a bad shoulder. He keeps himself in great shape, and the staff for the most part, they keep themselves in great shape.
I think our staff
got some good looking guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even the GA Quinn Chanbar, have you seen? He's blue twisted still. I mean, from the top to the bottom, I feel like our staff is elite when it comes to the physical development and their aesthetics. So all right, kind of again a little bit before pre-football as far as this. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Dillon.
No. I was just gonna say we laugh about that. Several years ago, Seth's first season, played at Florida at the Swamp, and things got a little testy. People probably didn't see it watching the game, but I was on the sidelines and saw this happen. Florida's quarterback got rolled up on by our defensive end, Josh Wheeler. Didn't mean to do it. The tackle pushed him into his knee, and it hurt the guy's knee, and they called a late penalty. Mm-hmm. Well, Jim McElwain was coach at Florida at the time. He's pointing at Seth, and one of the funniest stories is one of the guys announcing the game on ESPN was Dusty Dvorak, who also played at Oklahoma with Seth, and he said on not.
That's crazy. That is that is wild. I probably would have never that's nuts. That's nuts, man. Coach Littrell's not someone you want to run across in a bar fight for sure.
No.
So again, kind of before we get into football, so what, your family obviously sees tremendous value in athletics with the Lovelace softball complex as well as the Lovelace McNack indoor facility, which, I mean, you don't have to say it. I'll go ahead and say, I mean, I think it's, I know UTSA has a new one, but I think it's a crown jewel of the state as far as indoor facility goes. I mean, it's top tier, second to none. It's beautiful from the highway. But what's the reason you and your family see such importance in athletics and, see the reasoning of being the donors at the level that you guys are?
Yeah. We've just always felt like athletics plays such an important role in people's lives. We were always drawn to it naturally through my personal stuff growing up, and my dad was actually a really, really good athlete back in the day. He was one of the fastest kids in Dallas, and my mom ran.
Dylan, can you hear me? I think we might have.
We're back.
We're back.
Yeah, I got you.
It'll work its way out. So you're saying your dad was one of the fastest guy in Dallas at the time?
He was one of them.
And your mom?
And my mom ran competitive track growing up.
And rollerbladed.
And was a roller skater, yeah. So anyway, it was, it's always been meaningful to us, and feel like athletics just plays such an important role in kids' lives. And as it relates over to North Texas, we always felt like North Texas was a sleeping giant. And so getting to be involved UNT and to to realize the potential's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And just as again from the indoor facility to Apogee, it's just I mean, especially for G5 football, I just feel like there's not really too many G5 programs that have what we have, and it's a lot to be proud of. And like you said, I mean, I say that all the time too. Like North Texas, I believe right there with you, it is a sleeping giant. I think we could be the next Boise State, and not a lot of time with just a few of the right pieces falling the right way for us, obviously. But yeah, man, that's really exciting stuff. So kind of okay, shifting gears to this 2021 football season, and I know all of our fingers are crossed and we're praying that it's as normal as it can be, and it seems like it's going to be. I'm really excited to be back in Apogee in a real game atmosphere, for the first time in about 2 years, I guess. But how ready are you and your family for this hopefully normal football season? Is that something you guys talk about a lot? Or
Absolutely.
What are the thoughts on that?
There's a crowd and atmosphere and the tailgating and the full game day experiences. Last year first of all, kudos to everybody who pulled it off. It wasn't easy. Nobody had the right answers, but I feel like our administration and our athletics leadership did a great job, and obviously our coaches and players did a great job of pulling it hard. I can tell you that. But absolutely, we can't wait to get there that first Saturday in September and enjoy the tailgating and the spirit and have a sense of family back together. It's fun when things get rolling. People kind of jump on the bandwagon, and you kind of want to say, "I told you so." It's a lot. This game day experience here is really good. It's a lot of fun. It's a perfect size stadium, and the band does a great job. We get good crowds. We'd love to find a way to sell that thing out officially.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So maybe we'll be able to do that this year.
Yeah, maybe. I'm with you. I'm believing for it. I don't know how closely you keep up with the recruit. I know you're a busy guy, but we recently just etched out UTSA for our first, to my knowledge, our number one recruiting class, in school history. And, we really have made leaps and bounds. I mean, that's, North Texas, it wasn't that long ago. We were middle to bottom of the pack in recruiting football wise. And, the fact that we're number one, that's super exciting stuff. And I think a lot of that obviously goes to Coach Littrell and the relationships he has built with, a lot of the programs in the state and out of state. But a lot, honestly, I believe comes from just what we have to offer from facilities and Apogee and, all that. So that's exciting stuff. And so speaking on Jalen Dart, obviously he was generational. How do you think we replace somebody like that? As far as, nobody can really replace him, I would say. Probably not, maybe. But how do you think our offense is going to fare without him? And what do you think we do in his absence?
Well, there's kind of three questions there. I'll start with how do you think we adapt? First of all, I think people would be silly not to have full trust in this offensive staff. The amount of knowledge. Big. We're back.
We're back. You said the amount of knowledge, and it kind of blurted out after that. Maybe we're back out.
No.
Okay, I think we're back. Dillon, can you hear me?
I got you. I'm sorry.
Okay, cool. No, you're good. You're good. So you were saying
we're good.
The offensive staff. Yes. You were saying the offensive staff and, the amount of knowledge they have. I don't see how people could really doubt that. And then we kind of cut out. So if you want to pick up where you.
Yeah, these guys are going to put the players in a position to be successful. There's no doubt about it. That said, Darden, my gosh, he's a generational player, and we were really lucky to get him. I don't know if many people know this or not, but he was going to go to Virginia Tech.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that deal fell through at the end. Thank God it did.
Yeah.
And it was, I'll tell you, it was obvious when he showed up. I was at the first couple of practices with he and Mason when they were really young, and I don't know talent of it very well, but I watched those two guys and I was like, 6 is really good, and the 84th time is unguarded. The the amount of effort he put in to get where he got,
and that's when he was a true freshman. When you saw him and you made those comments, that was his true freshman year.
Yeah, it was just the elusiveness and the acceleration were just different than everybody else. It was amazing to watch. And then he furthered that into abilities that are just crazy. I think he's going to be a tremendous player for the Buccaneers, and Brady's lucky to have him.
Yeah, are you getting him on your fantasy team?
Potentially, we'll see.
Yeah.
In terms of replacing his production, I think I do think we'll probably be a little more run heavy. I'm a tremendous fan of Coach Lovelace and what he's been able to do with the talent, with the gas places, and developing some depth there. I think Lovelace is and Seth's philosophies are work so well together. With the line and Attaway and Torrey and Cooper and Ragsdale, we're going to be in good shape running the football. I don't have any doubt about that. How to replace 19 touchdowns, you got to spread it around, right? And thank God, to your point, we've been recruiting well and developing well there. And we've got some guys that have an opportunity to step up and make a bunch of good plays this year. Simpson ought to take another step forward. A highly recruited kid was Lorenzo Thompson. Mm-hmm. He's going to be really, really good.
I'm excited for Lorenzo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to be really good. Jake Roberts, the tight end position, is a special player. And then, Jair being back is huge. I mean, he had a tremendous freshman year and then unfortunately got hurt last year, but good luck finding a guy with measurables like that. I mean, it's pretty unique to have a guy that big and that fast.
Yeah.
So we've certainly got a riches of receivers and playmakers out there, and it'll be interesting to see how they craft it up and
Dillon, we're back.
We're good.
Okay, cool. So yeah, absolutely. Everything you just said, couldn't agree more. I think we do have a spoil of riches, in some degree at a lot of different positions, especially offensively. So to kind of talking about the schedule, is there any away games that you go to? I mean, how often are you able to make an away game? And is there any games this year, away games, that you plan on making the trek out to?
Yeah, we're fortunate. We fly to every away game typically.
What's your favorite place to go in conference? Is there one place, whether it be the atmosphere of the stadium or maybe the food? Like, where's your favorite place to go? Like, if like on the schedule, if we're going here that you and your family are excited to go to.
The one place I like, and it's selfish, is I like to go down to Southern Miss because we go down a day early and stay in Biloxi. Yeah, I stay in Biloxi, and normally we fly down the day of the game and fly right back. But we for Southern Miss, we go to Biloxi, and then we play a really nice golf course down there called Fallen Oak, and then turn that into a fun deal the next day at the game typically. But I like down there, and I'm looking forward to FIU. I've never been there. I can't believe it. And down there and seeing that place, that's another one of those big public universities down there. It's kind of a sleeper, so to speak.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. They could
We
They could
we went
catch fire
to
real fast.
oh man, easily. We went to Florida or to Liberty a few years ago. Liberty was really heavily influential in our indoor. And if you look at the two facilities, you can kind of see the comparisons there. But and we went to Liberty a few years ago and enjoyed that one. That was 3 lightning delays, about a 6-hour game, and
Yeah, the Mason pulled it off. Yeah, it was
crazy.
that was a crazy game.
Guys did a great job.
Absolutely.
You could tell that Liberty was building something special though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a great university and institution, and they have a lot of momentum going right now for sure. Well, cool. Well, hey Dillon, I really appreciate you jumping on. Again, I know you're a super busy guy, and like you know, I really cannot wait for the football season, and you know, maybe sometime mid-season, after season, we can jump back on and kind of go over how things have gone or how they're going. You know, you never know.
Sure. Absolutely. No, I appreciate it. Be happy to.
All righty, Dillon. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you.